Hello, dance fans. So I'm Amanda, and I'm a dancer with Tahalou's Dance. And this is a red stick. And I'm going to demonstrate one way in which we use this stick in the upcoming piece, Les Bâtons. And so the background story is that I went to Australia in the year 2000 to do a sort of a backpacking, working on farms type of trip. I was with a friend and we were living in a tent most of the time. And somewhere along the way, we met some people who were into fire spinning. So they used sticks and these things called poise and sometimes hoops. Anyway, so my friend and I decided it would be fun to learn how it was done. So, and the poise and the hoops are a little bit advanced. So I started with the stick, and it was probably a stick, I'd say a little bit longer than this, but about this length. And we just sort of learned the ropes, so to speak. And so one day in rehearsal for this piece with Tahalou's, I think I was just playing around. I probably had a stick in my hand, and I started doing some of the moves. And Nick got a look at it and said, "Oh my gosh, we have to put that in the piece. We have to incorporate this." So there is a section in the piece that stemmed from that rehearsal, and that comes from the Australian fire spinning. So it's sort of modified at this point. It's become a little bit something else, but that's where the inspiration came from. So maybe I'll just show you a few moves, I guess. It's one of those things that is looks way more complicated than it is, like lots of things in life. So the base move is pretty much this, where you're spinning the stick, changing it from hand to hand. People often think it's some really complicated finger maneuver I'm doing, but it's not at all. It's really all just in the wrist, because we have this mobility in our wrist, so I'm just sort of taking advantage of that. And then you can sort of play around with it behind your back. You can do some sort of back and forth type things where you go from side to side around your body, which can also be done backwards, this way. Let me see, what else can I show you? One of my favorite moves is, I think we used to call it around the world. Anyway, you do a big circle like this, which is pretty fun. Again, it looks way more complicated than it is. Don't be too impressed. The key here really is that when you change hands, you want to keep the movement going. So it can, like in the beginning, it's sort of awkward when you change, but then the more you practice, the more it becomes smooth. So that's kind of the story with the fire spinning and how it came to be part of Les Bâtons.